So I've just realised something about Vantablack, and I've had to sit with it for a minute because it's quite big. Because as you know, um, with quantum magnetics, with what I can do, how I manifest through words and language and writing and all of that, that's how I do my magic. It's how I cast everything out there in order to be able to prove that all of this is real. And quantum magnetics, I say, is like the Swiss Army knife of physics, because it can do so many things. You can manipulate it like a Rubik's Cube. Oh, very funny. Manipulate it and twist and turn it like a Rubik's Cube, like a kaleidoscope, and use it for a multitude of things. And because my gift, my supernatural power is I manifest through language and words and, writing and all of that. Anything to do with language and writing and communication, and that's how I'm able to do what I do. A lot of the stuff that I put out there won't make sense to anyone reading it until it happens. But for me, it's happening right now. I'm living it. I'm experiencing it. I'm right there. And with my books and stories and all of that, um, everything is based on my real life, just told through creative writing, through imagination. But it will always be real. It will always be based on real things. And when I start writing these things, I always write intuitively. I don't plan anything out. I just write when the mood takes me to write, right? So it always will turn out in the future. Anything that I've written down or anything that I've spoken will come true in the future. And that characters in my stories and games and all of that will be people who are yet to come into my life, or who were inspirations in my life at the time I was writing, where it weaves together the story of my life, of how I became an eighth elemental alchemist, because now I can teach it to the kids in that, and show them how to step into themselves and out of diagnoses of things like autism and ADHD and bipolar and all of that, and into creative genius, because that's what they are. They're creative geniuses. They're just kids whose brains function at such a high frequency that people not of the same frequency absolutely will not understand them. They, they all have their own specific way of communicating, whether it's through music or art or, whatever their medium is. For me, the word medium means to bridge the gap. That's what I'm not a medium. A medium, like a psychic. I'm a median, and he's like the creative empathic mind, the creative genius mind, is whatever the median is it's how they communicate with their high frequency to the rest of us down here. Through their art, through their songs, through whatever it is they're creating, building, whatever it is that their thing is. Obviously, I'm talking about the ones where there's not actual, like disabilities where they'd be a danger to anyone, or I'm talking about your normal, average, everyday kids that are stuffed into these schools, and in a society where the schools don't get them and their foster parents don't get them, and the social workers don't get them, and the government don't get them, and the education system don't get them, and that because they don't understand them. They think they're a threat to themselves or society or whatever, because they dress a bit different or write aggressive songs or do dark art or blah blah blah. They don't get it, but I do. And I want to take that genius and turn it into an entertainment empire where, we get to nurture these kids' talents. And I say that, we will be at the foundation, like the foundation will be the universe that holds the stars. So the kids that come to us in the various countries where we have them and all that sort of thing, they will be protected. They will not fall victim to the Epsteins and Diddies and all of that of the world. They will never ever be put in a situation through our talent agency, through, taking care of their finances, any money that they make and royalties and all that sort of thing. Like, they will be taken care of and protected, like with ironclad stuff where even the parents won't be able to access their money. Like they'll all have jobs. They will come to work basically where they get paid to kids saving kids basically. And so Vantablack is really important because we're going to be gathering the undiscovered talent all over the world of these kids, especially in places where if they were in countries where culturally they don't understand a creative empathic mind, a lot of these kids get accused of being like witches, and they get outcast and they get abused and like treated really badly. But a lot of these kids will have amazing talents, and we're going to discover those talents, so that's why I was saying, like, keep an eye out. If you have all these websites and anywhere where that these kids are gathered, and that like we can take them away from it for a little bit and maybe give them an opportunity to make enough money to support themselves, and I mean, we might create the next Brad Pitt or Idris Elba or Jackie Chan or whatever, because the stuff that we're making, we're making like all the genres of movies and that, so there's always going to be something going on. And the way that I've designed the theme park and everything is like it's all a part of it. It's all going to make sure that these kids have always got work, so that they're not starving artists and, being homeless and out on the street, and that they'll always have royalties for anything that they make, because it's not like they're coming and working for us and, we pat them on the back and say, well, we're giving you room and board. Like, these kids will come and get paid to work for us, but they learn as they go, and they get to put their gifts and talents out there. And, just even if it turns out that they want, they ended up being doctors or construction workers and that, like, it doesn't matter. What matters is the here and now and what they got to do in the here and now. And the other thing is, like I said, it guarantees through ironclad stuff that anything that these kids make, they will always have royalties. They will get royalties for everything that they make for the rest of their lives. So they'll never have to worry. So we're only going to produce like high quality stuff. I've been paying a lot of attention to social media, and people are begging for traditional old school, movies and music and all of that. So that's what I'm going to give them. And so Vantablack is going to be a live radio broadcast filled with kids. Obviously, I'm going to have adult musicians, and all of that come in and learn it with my boys and I. We'll learn it with my son and I because we're the ones writing it. So I'll need a musician like composer to take what we're doing and what I'm hearing and help me turn that into the songs for the voice actors and all of that to do and sing and blah blah blah. Um, and then the musicians will come and teach the kids all like the music to it, and then they'll practice and get it right, and then we'll go out there and perform it live on the radio and through our streaming service and all of that, which will be up and running by the time. So the thing that I realised is that Vantablack, basically, it's a horror. It started out as a horror movie because I had said to my sons, one of the genres of films we haven't done is like a zombie apocalypse. So my son and I, my writing partner, anything to do with the horror, and he is so excited about helping me with the musical. His job, he wants to do the music for our video games. He's going to get paid to like compose the music and all of that for our video games. So yeah, so I'm so proud of him. So Vantablack is basically um, the story of basically people getting vaccines, and then just one day everyone wakes up and they start turning into zombies. Um, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't sort of, don't really want to go into too much detail, but yeah, so basically, obviously the kids at the summer camp, based on our real foundation that we're going to build, like it's all going to be based on, real. These kids, these group of kids, these two boys who basically own the camp with the mum, have to get their friends. They get a phone call from mum. Mum says, because mum's in a different state, and she's like, because they're based in Montana. Because when we first wrote it, it was, we thought we were moving to Montana. We thought we were building there, the foundation there, and then the Dragonarium over at Thunder Bay in Ontario. But things have changed, I guess. But anyway, for now, so the kids have got to go from Montana to pick up their friend in Ontario, and over to the Dragonarium at Thunder Bay, where Mum will meet the boys in a helicopter. Her pilot is flying her to meet them at the Dragonarium, and she'll pick them up, and they'll fly away to safety, because you only have to keep away from them for three. Like if you can deny them food supply, like blood supply, for 3 days, they start dying. So they just have to distance themselves far enough away that the zombies start dying before they get to them, if you know what I mean. So so they have to go to get from Montana, driving and stopping for supplies, and having to kill things and shoot things and survive things and get across the border, and yada yada, and pick up the friend, and get over to the Dragonarium and that. And then obviously when they get there, Mum arrives in the helicopter, and then this is the bit where my son gets to use his samurai sword, his Japanese sword, to fight the villain of the movie. And the villain, when the kids, he's like, stand behind me while I fend them off. And, the kids all get in the helicopter, and then he gets in the helicopter, and then as we're flying off, the villain, grabs onto the helicopter, and then my son takes the sword and chops his hand off, chops his hand off at the wrist, and the villain falls to the ground and splat, right? So, because, like I said, everything that I write ends up coming true. Basically, what happened was not not yesterday, but the day before, my son, the one who's helping me write Vantablack, said to me, "Get on Discord. We want to play with you." And so I got on, and a couple of their friends were on, and my other son as well, and we all started talking. And the next thing I know, I find out that these kids have all these incredible gifts and talents and stuff. And so then I started telling them about Vantablack the musical and like would they want to get on board. And then the friend who plays the electric guitar was playing the electric guitar for me. Like he was like, it wasn't an audition or anything like that, but that's what it felt like. And I was like, because he doesn't want to do any of the acting or anything like that. But when I said to him, would you want to like learn Vantablack and like come on stage with us and perform it with us? And he didn't say no. And then the other one was like, well, I play the flute. And I'm like, oh my God, because she's also going to be one of the voice actresses. And then I found out yesterday that she's also a really talented, like, digital artist. She likes to do digital art off video games and stuff. And I mean, we're going to be making video games and doing like graphic movies. And so it was like, oh my God. So, like, it was like all these kids started gathering. And now I've got 4 kids who want to be involved, possibly 5 another actor. So I've got kids already wanting to be a part of it, and the girl who is the artist and plays the flute and all of that, she wants to get on board with the whole getting signed up for the foundation and, you know, come and earning some money. And, you know, she can at least have one parent there if, you know, the parent wants to make sure that she's okay. Like, you know, we'll pay for them to be there as guardians and that. But some parents might be okay with sending their kids, you know, if we get them all chaperoned on a plane and all of that. Some of their parents might be okay with sending their kids on a plane to a different country if they know that it's going to help this kid understand who they really are and the true gift that they are to the world. Instead of being the freaks, geeks, nerds, dorks, and weirdos, which I'm absolutely the queen of, they would be just like everybody else. You know, kids that they can talk to, kids that they can relate to, adults they can talk to, adults they can relate to, all there doing, you know, everything they love, everyone helping each other, everybody making a bit of money from it, you know, and then basically opening the doors and windows and letting that smell and that talent and all of that waft out into the world, to draw people in to want to be a part of it too. You know, as tourists, as customers, clients, that sort of thing, patrons, you know, people that want to pay for our games and our movies and all of that, in as many countries as I can build them in. So basically, I had to explain to the kids why I'm doing it all and how, you know, I'm rescuing children from the human trafficking, you know, thing. And basically any kid that needs rescued, like, you know, from Indigenous to inner city to, you know, whatever, whoever, I can't turn the kids away. But not if they need it, not if they need help, you know. So I explained all of this to the kids, and they wanted to be a part of it. Like, it felt really special. It felt like something connected. It felt right. It's like something fell into place, and there was like this peace and calm. It was amazing. And then the next day, I got to sit and, talk to one of them and really relate to them, and the way they reacted was just incredible because, as I said to my son later on, they knew they'd found someone that they could relate to. And what happened was all three of us just had this incredible bonding experience where they could just let their guards down and be their true, authentic selves in front of each other. Like these two best friends were learning that the both of them could like talk to animals and read animals. It was just beautiful. And when I said to her, like, would you come to the foundation? Like, she absolutely wanted to be on board with it. And she was diagnosed with ADHD, but, her reaction was just, she was so excited. She wanted to show me everything. I got to see all her toys. I got to meet her cats, like she just opened her heart. She just like opened up. She just let it all, she let me see it all. She turned the camera around so I got to see her pretty little face, and oh God, I was so proud. And again, it was like something clicked into place, and I knew that without knowing it, my son had gathered us all at the Dragonarium, as in, my son got us all together to decide that this is that because the whole point of the Dragonarium is, putting the human trafficking kids in there, right? So the ones that we rescue and all of that from borders and from raids and all of that, they'll stay at the Dragonarium until we can figure out where they have to go and blah blah blah, right? Safe houses. So my sons gathered us at the safe house. It was them finding out about the safe house that made them want to be a part of Vantablack, which is a musical about the zombie apocalypse caused by bad vaccines from from like an outbreak, a pandemic. So my helicopter pilot arrived because in Vantablack, Mum says, I've just got to find. What does she say? No, my friend's bringing me over in a helicopter. I've got to find, or I can't remember what she says. I've just got to find someone to bring me over, or a friend of mine is going to bring me over in a helicopter. That's it. A friend of mine is going to bring me over in a helicopter, get to the Dragonarium, because obviously one of them is 18 if he decides to come on board. He'd still be represented as a character in the movie, though. He drives in real life, so he'll take the car and they'll drive. Like, there'll be drivers there, so they'll take cars, and they have to make their way from Montana across the border into Toronto and then over to Thunder Bay, right? So we're going to make a movie out of it. So my helicopter pilot arrived, and he's been helping me get justice. He's been helping fight the fight in real life, and it's like everything's coming together. And I think this is us flying off in the helicopter, which means I think something's about to happen with Mr. Gates, because he's who the zombie villain is based off. I mean, a likeness, obviously, for legal reasons, but it's based off that. They're all going to be represented in there somewhere, like Fauci and all that. They're all going to be, their story is going to be told in Vantablack just through, creative, artistic license, legally, responsibly. I think something's coming for him. My son got a Japanese sword for Christmas. He got It's absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, he got a Japanese sword for Christmas. And I was just telling him about this show that I grew up watching called Tenko, which is about a Japanese POW camp. And then I started putting two and two together. I'm like, hang on a minute, Vantablack's come true. Because I've started gathering kids who want to be a part of this. This means that we've been granted access. I've been given permission by the higher ups, by God, by the ancestors. I've been given permission to put Vantablack on in real life. I know it because the kids are gathering. It's like I've maybe unlocked the final door or been granted final access. I think I'm about to get justice. I think I've gotten justice. I've definitely gotten karmic justice because ever since my helicopter pilot arrived, and I keep saying, I think my protector's here because ever since the helicopter pilot arrived in my life, I've been allowed to unlock more and more and more and more codes that have unraveled more and more and more revelations about what's going on in the world. Let's just say that. On if you're, my ex account, it's all over there. It's been, oh my God, I've been. But I've obviously done something because yesterday it was, well, 2 days ago it was just me and my son. And now it's me, my son, two of his friends, and possibly another person. Like it's like everything's starting to fall into place ever since I found my helicopter pilot. He's making it safe for us to get out of here and put that concert on. So we must be getting ready to leave. Like we must be getting ready to leave the UK to put on this concert. And the end of Vantablack is the start of the Soul Collector. And that's all I'm going to say. So it's getting very exciting. So let's just watch this space. But I can see clearly now. I can see it all so clearly. I'm so excited. This is it. This is the start of everything. I just need to find my composer. I need to find the one who can take the music that we're creating and write it onto music and that, so we can hand it to the musicians and let them play around with it all. What I'm hoping is that we can all sit around together and let them add to it. Like, what about this? What if we do this? What if we add this? But sorry, I had a drink of water, so if I get gas, you'll know why. Yeah, so it's getting so exciting. Oh my God, I can't believe I've been given permission to put on an outdoor radio show. An old school outdoor radio show. I'm so proud.